Yo, what's going on, my Chicago bros? We are back, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different since I've been on YouTube again. But for the first time, RLCS has returned. If you guys did not know, I joined SSG with LJ and Hoxer, and the Split 2 just started. So the road to London commenced this past weekend, and I'm going to be doing a little recap for y'all. So yeah, I think this is going to be a little bit interesting. So this is one of the replays from the Swiss stage, and we'll get into it, and I'll explain everything, and we'll go match by match. But if you guys do not know, it's a 16-team Swiss tournament where top 8 advance to a single elimination bracket. And you just want to get top 4 in points over the course of 3 regionals, or open qualifiers, as they like to call it, to make the major. So the first one's very important because you obviously want to get off to a big start. But we'll start with our first round. We went against Shopify. And the first round for everybody is a little bit nervy, jittery, not the greatest gameplay. So that's kind of what happened. Our first couple of games, we came out really sluggish. And we actually ended up going down 2-1 to Shopify. So it did not look good. But I think we kind of started discussing and figuring out what we needed to do. And games 4 and 5 looked a lot better. And we were actually able to come back and win the series 3-2, which was really cool. Gave a lot of confidence for the rest of the day, and you could tell it showed. But yeah, that Shopify team, 2-piece, Parth, Justin, super good. Probably a lot of team could be top 4 area. Or right around it. So it's a tough round 1, but you always want to start with a tough round 1. Get good competition out of the way, as well as test yourself. So we go 3-2, which obviously means as the 7 seed, we have pretty bad game diff. So we're going to play the 1 seed, which ended up being G2 in the second round. If you guys don't know, G2 is one of the best teams in the world. Got second at the major. And yeah, one of our kryptonite teams. So we played them. It wasn't a bad series. It was actually very close, and a couple things we could have done better, and the series might have been maybe not a 3-1, which we did end up losing, but we played really well. Even though we lost, I was super confident for the rest of the day on, how we're going to perform because of that G2 series. And sometimes, you're just going to play a team that's really, really good, and, it's going to be really tough to beat them. So we kind of shook it off, and we knew we were playing super well, and our next round ended up being... Who was our next round? And then our next round ended up being NRG. So if you guys don't know, us and NRG, it's kind of a meme. We play them like almost every tournament, it feels like. And we have a pretty good track record versus them. So we were not at all mad with the matchup. We're very confident. We know how they play. And we usually do very well against it. So having that underlying confidence is super big going into a series. But obviously we knew they had a new pickup of Aqua. So they're going to be super, super, fresh and motivated. So it's going to be tough. But we ended up playing one of our best series we've ever played as a team and 3-0'd them. It was honestly kind of a curb stomp. And it was really fun to play. And to be honest, that was a moment of the regional where I knew something was going to click and just go super well. Because all of a sudden we were just dominating that series. So 3-0 was also huge for the game diff. Because the next round... At first, we thought we were supposed to play Gen G, but because of Swiss format and rules, that not ended up happening. And as you can see, our round 4 match was against M80. If you guys don't know M80, it's 2 EU imports, Nas and Jory's, insanely high-level 1v1 players with so much skill, but have yet to kind of, prove it in NA 3s or just in 3s in general. We have not played them in tournament yet, but we've always wanted to, and we kind of want that revenge, So playing them, we were super excited. We wanted the matchup, and we came out playing again super well. We carried from the NRG series. We 3-1 them. Now, little kickoff cheese. Y'all like that? We'll go back. We'll watch that back real quick. 1 second. Little kickoff. LJ goes back. AJ dunked on your head in your net. GG's, fellas. Go next. But yeah, so we ended up 3-1ing them. Felt super confident. Ended up getting 4th or 5th seed, I believe, which is pretty good. And if you guys don't know, there's kind of a running meme where last split, we played Gen G every time in the quarterfinals, and they were our kryptonite. They beat us every time we played them, and it was just unreal. So it was very unlucky some of the times, but sometimes it was deserved because of a poor record in Swiss. So obviously can't, but we had to win some of those matchups. So we can't complain about not making the major because it's up to us to win one of those to succeed and make it to the major. But we ended up getting a pretty good seed and drawing OG out of Swiss for our bracket. So if you guys don't know, OG was a team at the major, JNAPS, Common, Nolly, very well-rounded team, not the like most individual star power you'll see compared to other teams in RLCS, but a very well coached, very well spoken and thought out team that, you know, is very comfortable playing with each other and has a play style where they're all confident and know what to execute. So playing them is always very tough because you're not just going to be able to hope they have a bad day. You're going to have to outplay them and beat them at maybe their own game. So we knew it was going to be a tough matchup, but nonetheless, we were still very confident. I was the most confident I've been this season because of how our Swiss went. And, you know, now we weren't playing Gen G in a quarterfinal, so it was time to shine, right? It was time to go off. And, you know, we'll get into another replay as I talk about that series. So, yeah. All right, so as you guys can see, it is not an OG replay. We will get into that later. But where we left off was our matchup versus OG. Like I said, we knew it was going to be a tough one, but we were super confident. We came out really slow in the first game. It's a little bit of an issue for us, but I'm sure we'll get it figured out because it also happened in a further series down the line. But yeah, our first series, after that first game, we started rolling. We started really feeling it. Again, still close games. It's going to be really hard to blow out a team, but we ended up 4-1-ing. And a lot of those games were very comfortable for us. We ended up felt like controlling the field, controlling possession, doing the plays that we were comfortable with, avoiding, you know, trying to be careful of their physicality, making sure to do the right things, right? Play some good Rocket League. And yeah, that 4-1 felt super good because like people said, or a lot of people thought, you know, maybe we weren't a real top 4 team and we needed to prove our worth. So finally not having Gen G in a quarterfinal and another team and then 4-1-ing and putting up a pretty confident performance, it made us feel, it was just a sense of relief because it's like, yeah, we are the team we think we are. Where, you know, we might not be in the G2 Gen G tier, hopefully soon, but we are, you know, in the major tier and we can rank, you know, we can beat the big dogs if need to, but we're also going to take care of business when it's necessary to help us do good and succeed. So that was super rewarding. Felt awesome, if I'm just being honest. It was our first Champ Sunday of the season. That's obviously a good feeling. Hadn't had that in a minute. But next, we get into the fun stuff. So Champ Sunday commences on our side of the bracket. As you can see, we have G2, who had just absolutely steamrolled their quarterfinal, their Swiss, just in another level of state of flow. And we knew it was going to be a tough match. Listen, if you're going to beat G2, you're going to have to play pretty darn well. And you're going to have to execute, and they're not going to let you beat you easy. So we knew it was going to be an absolute dogfight. And the first game, again, we came out super slow. Lost it, I believe, 3-0. It wasn't too competitive. But the really good thing is the next game we came out, and I believe we won. And it showed a lot because not only are we like, okay, we're confident, we're back, and we're like in our rhythm, but now we know we can win games, we can maybe even win this series. So each game is too much to talk about, but let's just say, man, every game is a dogfight versus these guys. You're gonna have to 24/7 focus, because these guys have so much skill in the air and just so much creativity that, like, if you screw up one of your challenges, you're just gonna leave your teammate in a bad position, and obviously a threatening position is very likely a goal for players at this talent. Yeah, we end up actually going up in the series 3-2 after some crazy games. Great defense by us. We were executing pretty damn well. But at the same time, G2 was playing well as well. And, you know, creating some offense. And you're going to have to be on the back foot a lot when you're playing G2. You're going to have to be willing to accept defense because you're not going to be able to play all-out offense versus a team that has this mechanical ability and put this kind of pressure on defenses. So G2 took a timeout after they went down 3-2, and after that, whatever they talked about worked because our game 6 was not great. We ended up kind of losing that, and it wasn't very close. And so it goes to game 7, Champs Field for a chance at the grand final, who on the other side was Gen G. So game 7, again, we had taken a timeout, we had discussed things, but G2, they had pressure the entire time. We were getting suffocated to another level. And to be honest, we didn't really deserve to win game 7 just because they have so much pressure. If they would have lost, it would have been, if anything, mistakes by them. So it was very sad because we knew we could have beat them. But at the same time, we were very proud because we thought our performance was great and it was something to just build off of, and we can look forward to, you know, now knowing we can beat these teams. Now we just got to improve at stuff that might have went wrong towards the end dial that in, and then we can come back and beat these top dogs and compete for a chance to win a regional, which is obviously always the goal. Super dope, but also you win a good chunk of money, so that's always nice. Like, as you can see, G2 is just doing stuff like this, but Daniel to Atomic or to Bespoke, who's on our backboard, who drops it to Daniel to a top shot slot that still almost gets saved. Just unreal. But yeah, so we ended up losing to G2, unfortunately, in 7. A very close game, and a very heartbreaking close series, but at the end of the day, we were very proud of the result, and we were very proud of how we played, and now we have a bunch of confidence in what we're doing and what we're trying to achieve going into the future regional, which is in about 2 weeks. So we know we kind of have to stay locked in and keep grinding, because if you just get complacent, you can lose your major just like that, because teams are also grinding. They're trying to get better. They're trying to beat you. So you got to stay on your toes to beat them and get better than them. So that's going to be the goal for us this coming week. Obviously, we got to qualify this weekend to make it back into RLCS. Stupidest thing ever. Don't even get me started. But here's the OT finisher that gave us the 3-2 lead. Anyways, yeah, that is the regional recap. I hope you guys enjoyed. It was just pure yapping. But if you guys do enjoy me yapping, then sure, why not? Make sure to leave a like and comment on the video. That helps us out a ton. And the road to 50K is real. So that is the next goal, and I hope y'all enjoyed this kind of video. If not, whatever, who cares? We're just trying stuff out, you know? But that's gonna do it. I hope y'all all have a great day, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.